To make every day a healthy day.
Kenya is feeling the heat as water reserves shrink and taps run dry. The government has promised solutions: boreholes, dams, and improved infrastructure. But are these policies turning the tide on water scarcity and sanitation challenges? Join us this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 as we wade into this conversation with the Principal Secretary for Water and Sanitation, Julius Korir. The Shift.
Unaona vile mtoto analia alafu watu wanakuambia nyamaza. Sisi wakati yeye alilia, the first cry, tulitoa machozi.
Neurological conditions si uchawi. Hawajarogwa. Neurological conditions or disability haiambukizani, maana si ugonjwa.
If I tell them up like no ako sawa, no ako tuna challenges zangu but ako sawa. Yeye ako si angekuwa ng'ombe tungemchinja.
Wiki hii kwenye mkulima,
watu wengi hususia kilimo kwa sababu ya uchafu, kuchoka na kubeba mizigo migumu shambani.
Ufugaji wa crickets for example, it's not labor intensive. Ili shamba lote tunahitaji mtu mmoja peke yake. Na hata huyo mtu mmoja hafanyi kazi siku mzima. Hata hafanyi kazi zote kwa wiki.
Kisha
kazi ya kilimo ndio pesa mfukoni. Huyo kijana amesoma hapo na anakataa, anasema ati kazi hii ni ya matope. Ajue pesa iko kwa mdogo.
Usikose kujumuika nami Francis Ngala siku ya Jumamosi saa 10:30 upate mseto kamili wa kilimo.
My talents are that I am good in all sports. I discovered that I'm good in swimming when in my former school I participated in its swimming gala.
This year, for my birthday, a friend gifted me this beautiful book with so many stories.
Today we show us how to make the yummiest vegetable rice. It's delicious and just perfect for a meal.
Teknolojia kweli ni sadaka toka kwako.
I just want to say thank you for the way you love me. I want to say thank you for the way you love.
A very good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for watching KBC Channel 1. You are in time for the lunchtime news. My name is Betty Kiptum and Byron Abuli is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. We start off this bulletin with the President's Central Kenya tour. That is a 5-day tour, and today he is in Laikipia County. Let's just listen into the proceedings there.
Hiyo percentage tatu imebaki. Mimi namwambia Waziri Alice Wahome amalizane na hiyo affordable housing nyumba 200, wananchi wa hapa waanze kuishi ndani huko, muweze kukaa sawa sawa katika tauni hii. Laikipia mko tayari? Na Nyuki mko tayari? Jambo la pili, mimi nitarudi hapa kwa sababu huyu Halis, waziri wangu wa mambo ya ujenzi, nimemueleza vile vile aanzishe nyumba zingine 1000 hapa na Nyuki town. Kwa sababu nyumba 200 haitoshi. Mimi nataka nyumba zingine 1000 zijengwe hapa. Ndio ile watu wote wanaishi kwa slums waweze kupata makao mazuri, na tutawapatia na rent ya chini, ile mortgage, ndio kila mmoja wetu aishi mahali kuna usafi, ndio Kenya iweze kusonga mbele. Laikipia hoye! Nanyuki hoye! Tumekubaliana jameni? Jambo la 4. Mimi nimekuja hapa Laikipia na nimesema nimekuja ziara ya maendeleo. Leo asubuhi nimeanzisha mradi ile ya mambo ya stima. Mulinieleza hapa Laikipia watu wengi bado wanaishi kwa giza, hawana stima makwao. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Sasa leo nimekuja hapa na waziri wangu wa kawi na PS wake bwana Mureithi na bwana Wachira, na tumeanzisha program ya watu wa hapa Laikipia ya milioni 720 kuunganisha manyumba 4,000 zaidi kwa mambo ya stima hapa Laikipia County. Tunaelewana jameni? Tukiongeza stima hapa, tutaongeza pia internet na tutahakikisha ya kwamba biashara inasonga mbele. Tunahakikisha ya kwamba mazao yenu yakiletwa hapa sokoni, tuweke cold room, kuwe na stima, ndio tuweze kuhakikisha kwamba tunazalisha uchumi na Kenya inasonga mbele. Laikipia hoye! Jambo la 4, mimi nimekuja hapa Laikipia ni maneno yenu ya barabara. Nyinyi mnajua barabara ni muhimu. Kwanza katika tauni hii, huyu Kiunjuri kuna barabara 3 ameniambia. Sasa nataka munisikize. Watu wa Laikipia, huyu Kiunjuri ameniambia kuna barabara 3 ya muhimu hapa. Ameniambia kuna barabara ya kutoka Liki kwenda Ntrokoma. Ati hiyo barabara tujenge. Nyinyi ndio mulimutuma ama ni kunipanga ananipanga? Mulimutuma hiyo barabara ya kutoka Liki kwenda Ntrokoma? Haya. Ameniambia vile vile kuna barabara ingine kutoka Trojan kwenda Kilimo mpaka Ruai. Hiyo barabara mulimutuma ama hamkumutuma? Mulimutuma hiyo barabara. Sasa hiyo barabara 2, kwa sababu iko town hapa, nimeambia waziri na PS wake yuko hapa bwana Mbogwa. Wewe bwana Mbogwa usikie vizuri, wewe ndio PS. Hizo barabara 2, hizo barabara mimi nimesema nimeidhinisha hizo barabara, weka pesa tujenge hiyo barabara, tuweke lami. Tumeelewana? Alafu kuna barabara ya 3. Huyo Kiunjuri ameniambia kuna mahali inaitwa Lion Court hapa. Alafu inaenda mahali inaitwa Baraka. Alafu inaenda mpaka Merera. Hiyo pia mumemwambia afanye. Lakini nyinyi sasa, si kazi mmetupatia ni nyingi bwana? Ama inatoshana na ile kazi mmetupatia? Bas, hiyo mimi nitaweka kwa budget ya mwezi wa 6. Munipatie nafasi kidogo, niwatafutie pesa. Mwezi wa 6 nikitengeneza budget, nitaweka pesa ya hiyo barabara kwa hiyo budget, ndio tuweze kuwajengea, kwa sababu nasikia imeharibika. Tulikuwa tumejenga lakini imeraruka vibaya sana. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Alafu kuna ile barabara tumezungumzia siku mingi ya kutoka hapa kwenda Rumuruti. Ai, sijui nitafanya nini. Hiyo barabara ni ya muhimu sana, si ndio? Lakini ni barabara 74 kilometers. Mutanipatia nafasi nijenge polepole, niweke pesa ifike katikati, alafu niongeze ama namna gani? Si ndio? Alafu pia huyu mama Korere ameniambia kuna barabara ingine inatoka hapa kwenda Doldol, si ndio? Na pia hiyo barabara ni ya muhimu. Sasa wewe bwana Mbogo, wewe na Davis mwende mupange. Hawa watu ndio wadosi wangu, na wamesema wanataka barabara kutoka hapa kwenda Rumuruti na kutoka hapa kwenda Doldol. Hata kama pesa haiwezi kutosha mara moja, wekeni pesa kwa mpango, taratibu, polepole, mpaka tukamilishe hiyo barabara. Hawa wananchi waone ya kwamba tunashughulika na mambo yao. Watu wa Laikipia tumekubaliana? Watu wa Laikipia tumekubaliana? Sikizeni watu wa Laikipia. Mimi namshukuru sana Mheshimiwa Kiunjuri. Amenieleza ya kwamba kuna stadium yenu iko na matatizo hapa, saa zingine inaingia maji. Na mimi nataka nimtume Kiunjuri aende akutane na waziri wangu wa mambo ya michezo. Alafu tuone vile tunaweza kufanya hiyo mambo ya stadium hapa. Ndio tupangane na yeye namna hiyo. Watu wa Laikipia na watu wa hapa na Nyuki. Sawa sawa. Mimi nataka niwahakikishie ya kwamba ile kazi mulinipatia, mkaniambia nipange masomo ya watoto wetu. Hiyo kazi nimepanga vizuri, watoto wanasoma, nimeweka taratibu ya kuhakikisha kwamba kila mtoto anasoma, tumeajiri walimu na hiyo kazi inaendelea. Muliniambia nipange mambo ya kilimo. Mambo ya kilimo nimepanga vizuri. Mambo ya chai mwaka huu tuliongeza pesa kwa asilimia karibu 30, 50 billion shillings more kwa mambo ya chai mwaka huu. Mambo ya kahawa inaendelea sawa sawa. Bei ya kahawa imeongezeka kutoka shilingi 50, shilingi 60, sasa imefika shilingi 100 kwenda mbele. Maneno ya maziwa niliwaambia tutalipa 50 shillings. KCC inalipa sasa shilingi 50 kwa kilo moja na tunalipa kwa masaa. Tumeelewana watu wa hapa, watu ya Laikipia? Nego kana tiguo. Nego raigu ndia. Tunaelewana? Mimi nataka nimalizie kwa kusema hivi. Watu wa Laikipia, mimi kama kiongozi wa nchi hii nimesema katika taifa letu la Kenya hatutaki ugomvi na hatutaki chuki na hatutaki ukabila. Sisi wote kutoka jamii zote, sisi ni ndugu moja. Tumeumbwa na Mungu mmoja, watu wa taifa moja, with a common destiny, one united nation. Hapa Laikipia munaishi jamii zote za Kenya, ni kweli ama si kweli? Nyinyi watu wa Laikipia mnataka tuingize siasa mambo ya ukabila. Na ndio sababu hiyo hata wale walikuwa upinzani, mimi nimesema hata wale walikuwa upinzani kupitia kwa broad-based government, nimesema waje tushirikiane, tufanye kazi kwa pamoja, tujenge taifa letu la Kenya pamoja, kwa sababu Kenya inatutosha sisi wote. Nasikizeni. Nasikizeni ndugu zangu. Sio lazima mmoja atoke ndio mwingine aingie. Hii serikali inatutosha sisi wote. Ama namna gani jameni? Si ndio? Mimi nawauliza kwa unyenyekevu watu wa hapa. Na mimi nataka niwaeleze, kuna wengine wanaendesha propaganda potovu ya kwamba kuna watu watabaguliwa Kenya hii. I want to assure you, there is no community, there is no county, there is no region that is going to be sidelined in the broad-based government. We are going to work together as one people with a common destiny, the people of Kenya. Tumekubaliana na Nyuki? Na Nyuki tumekubaliana? Munasema tuungane? Munasema tushirikiane? Hebu nione wala anasema tunashirikiana, tushirikiane. Basi, na katika ushirikiano huo tutashughulika na mambo yenu ya maendeleo. Na mimi nataka niwaambie Laikipia, musikubali viongozi wa chuki na ukabila kutugawanya. Nyinyi watu wa Laikipia mulinipatia kura zenu. Na mimi si wazimu nisahau kwamba mulinipatia kura zenu. Na kura zenu mulinipatia, nitahakikisha ya kwamba kazi yenu ya barabara, ya soko, ya affordable housing, ya stima, ya kusomesha watoto wenu itafanyika vile inavyopaswa. Tumekubaliana jameni? Neguo kana tiguo. Tumekubaliana? Basi, kwa sababu viongozi ni wengi, mimi nataka nichukue nafasi hii. Nipe kwanza naibu wa rais Profesa Kithure Kindiki atusalimie, yuko hapa.
Well, those are pictures coming to you from Laikipia County, where the president is on a 5-day tour. Today, he is focusing on Laikipia and Nyeri counties. Well, we shall be updating you on what those particular stops that he has along those routes in Laikipia County as well as Nyeri County will bring about during the course of our bulletin and in subsequent bulletins. We move on to other news now. Vetting of candidates seeking to become members of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission entered the third day in Nairobi. The Nelson Makanda-led selection panel on Tuesday morning interviewed Kiambu County Elections Manager Arnold Mutwiri Njabani from Tharaka Nithi, former IEBC Deputy Chief Executive Officer Betty Sungura from Kisii County, and former journalist Bevin Angela Boke from Migori County.
How do you intend to use the experience that you had as an IEBC officer to be able to conduct your role as a commissioner?
Having been a presiding officer, I understand, even if I'm woken up at 2 a.m., the roles of a presiding officer. The IEBC does good work, but there is some trust. There's a trust deficit. As a commissioner, I want to come and create trust to Kenyans, that as much as we are independent, we have to be seen to be independent.
What are the issues that lead to the exit of staff at IEBC? What are the causes?
I know the Supreme Court actually restricted access to the staff of the IEBC, but there is the way political parties and other stakeholders can access the read-only mode and be able to follow through how the tabulation of the results is coming through.
Now, a section of coastal leaders have defended Social Health Insurance Fund, dismissing the opponents of the new scheme as trying to hoodwink Kenyans. Speaking at Jomo Kenyatta Primary School grounds in Msambweni, Kwale County, Sports and Youth Affairs Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria highlighted that SHA is functioning effectively provided the patients are registered. He stated that the government's agenda is to uplift the livelihoods of Kenyans, but unfortunately some cartels are trying to create barriers.
SHA inasema itaenua ile serikali ambayo mama Faachani ametengeneza hapa Kingwede. Mimi imenisaidia na wewe itakusaidia wakati umejisajili. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Rais ako na ajenda nzuri ya kusaidia Mkenya. Lakini tatizo hapa katikati, kuna wakora, kuna makatel, ndio wanayotatiza hii maneno yote, wanayotatiza hizi ajenda za serikali kwa sababu ya self interest.
Nataka tufanye bidii hata zaidi, maana swala la SHA ndio linasimamia matibabu. Hali zetu bado ni duni. Kwa ushirikiano wa county government, Fatuma Chani akafungua hospitali nyingine pale ambao matibabu yanasimamiwa na SHA. Vitanda ni visafi, hospitali ni safi, huduma ipo na matibabu yanapeanwa kupitia mpango wa SHA. Hospitali ya Lungalunga, hospitali za Kinango, huduma ile ipo.
Now, residents of Kapterwa in Saboti constituency of Trans Nzoia County have benefited from free medical services courtesy of a partnership between security agencies, the clergy, medical professionals and technology experts. Deputy Inspector General of Police Gilbert Masengeli says the 7-day initiative aims to address not only physical health but also mental and spiritual well-being for the local community. The initiative will also offer valuable insights into digital job opportunities and financial literacy to the local community.
Wako hapa karibu waje wapate kutibiwa, kwa sababu tuko hapa kwa wiki moja kuhakikisha tu tuna interact na wananchi, wanatibiwa kulingana na vile inavyostahili. Hao maskari pia wamesoma na wamesomea udaktari na wamefuzu. Na katika hiyo harakati pia ni kuwahimiza tu watoto wetu pia wapate kusoma, kwa sababu hawatakuwa hivyo milele.
In the economical aspect, where we are here to also capture the space of the economy, where we are training young people, to show them actually there is an opportunity out there in the digital space. We will like them to understand what is happening out there in the global world, and realize the opportunities that are there as well.
The medical camp actually entails consultation, screening that is done freely, treatment and even referrals that is done to the underprivileged society.
Grateful, and we are here to partner, and we will be offering maternal services, neonatal, family planning, and also screening with our Beyond Zero.
A family in Namawangi village, Matungu constituency, Kakamega County, is crying for justice after their kin was murdered by unknown people. 27-year-old Naman Auka is said to have met his death while in the company of his girlfriend. The incident allegedly occurred after a disagreement with one of the assailants about the girl.
Akanipigia simu, akaniambia kwamba kijana wangu Naman iko ng'ambo Chengo amedungwa kisu. Sasa sikukuwa na lingine kuamuka, hata akili yangu ilikuja ikapotea.
Alikuja hapa akakaa, akakulia hapa Christmas. Baadaye tukawachana naye tarehe 29 akienda. Sasa watu wanajulikana kwa sababu huyo msichana pia alikuwa wako.
Hata sasa ukitembea uko na hofu, hatujui utatembea urudi, ujui utalala, ujui utaamuka.
Hakika ni huzuni wanapokufa. Hiyo umri wanatuacha ndani ya hali ya iboma, na watoto bado tuko wachanga, tunahuzunika sana.
Sasa tuko na wasiwasi, unaweza Masaki kupata leti huku kwa mtoni. Kuna vijana wanakaa hapo. Uko na wasiwasi utapita wapi?
Two people died on the spot and another sustained serious injuries in a tragic road accident along Nairobi-Kangundo Road in the Savannah area, Matungulu sub-county. According to eyewitness accounts, the victims were on a speeding motorcycle when they collided with a Toyota Voxy vehicle while attempting to turn off the road. The bodies of the deceased were taken to Kangundo Level 4 Hospital mortuary, awaiting an autopsy and identification, as police from Malala Matungu investigate the circumstances surrounding the crash.
Tumepata kulikuwa na motorbike ambao imekuwa na ajali, imegonga gari, ilikuwa na vijana watatu, wawili wameaga, mmoja amepelekwa hospitali. Tumejaribu kufuatilia tuone ni nini ambao imetendeka, na tukajua kwamba ilikuwa ni motorbike zilikuwa zimekimbizana mbili.
Watu walikuwa wanatoka pande ya Nairobi na gari ilikuwa inatoka na pande ya Nairobi, na hiyo moto ilikuwa sibiti mingi, ikakuja ikakonga gari pande ya site.
Nataka kuuliza serikali iweze kututengenezea hii barabara yetu ya Kangundo Road. The road is very pathetic.
Now, a section of professionals in Samburu County has called on the National Assembly to expedite the process of vetting the newly appointed principal secretaries so as to allow them to assume their roles and effectively serve Kenyans. The professionals also expressed their gratitude to President William Ruto for nominating Michael Lenasalon as the devolution principal secretary, saying if appointed, it will be a significant milestone for the region.
Tungependa kuomba bunge letu la taifa liweze kuexpedite ile process ya vetting ili PS mpya aanze kuanza kazi, maana kazi mingi inamngoja.
Tunajua sio kawaida when we get these positions. You know, there are many Kenyans who are competing, and imagine to be one of them. It's just a privilege to us as Samburus. So I want to say that we are grateful, tunashukuru sana, na kama mmoja wa mama ambaye tumemsaa huyo mtoto, sisi tumefurahi sana kuwa na kijana mmoja wetu kuwa representative wetu katika the broad-based government. Itatupatia nafasi kabisa ya kuhakikisha kwamba zile marginalized counties kama Samburu, Turkana na wengine wanapata services kwa sababu tuko na kijana ambaye anaelewa.
A section of squatters in Ruai settlement scheme is urging the national government to protect them and their lands from illegal land grabbers. Speaking during an annual general meeting held in Ruai offices, the group's chairman Abdi Ali called for the development of social amenities and infrastructure in the area. In acknowledging the challenges encountered in reclaiming their lands after being demolished 15 years ago, he called on the government to facilitate faster reclamation of the lost parcels of land to their real owners.
Mahujaji wa matumaini,
napigania hii masikwota miaka 16 na sita tangu 1999 na kuambia wa jamani, tulibuguzwa huko Ruai saa 8 ya usiku. Tulikuwa na wasasi wangu wakakuvia huko. Nasikia siku hiyo tulikuwa tunabuguzwa na tulikuwa tunajenga nyumba.
Tumeteseka sana juu ya hiyo shamba yetu, vile tulipigiwa manyumba usiku, tukawa na shida nyingi sana. Watoto hata tukakosa vile kusomesa watoto vizuri juu hakuna pesa ya kuwasomesa, hakuna pahali pa kuishi vizuri.
Tumefikiana kwamba shamba yenyewe ni kubwa, sisi wenyewe vile beacon zilikuwa zimewekwa sababu ziliondolewa zote, na ndio tumearifu members wetu bado tuna mlima mbele yetu ya kurudisha beacon vile zilikuwa, ndio ndiposa kila mtu apate kurudi mahali pake.
And youth and women's farming groups in Busia County have been challenged to collaborate with the county's Department of Agriculture to increase yields. Director of Livestock Department in Busia County, David Mukabane, says through skill-based trainings, accessing modern farming equipment and financial grants, women and youth groups will not only be able to increase crop yields, but also improve their livelihoods. He made the remarks while distributing poultry and piglets to the groups.
Ushauri wangu kwao ni kwamba wakuwe karibu na idara ya mifugo. Wakiona dalili yoyote kama ya ugonjwa ama hata kabla wakuwe wagonjwa, wakuwe karibu na idara ya mifugo ili waelekezwe kuzuia magonjwa na kuhakikisha kwamba hawa mifugo wanakuwa kufikia umri ya soko.
Moving on, youth across the country have been urged to embrace digital platforms as avenues for self-employment, shifting focus from the diminishing white-collar job market. During a free training organized by the British digital company VML, aimed at sensitizing youth on economic opportunities available in the digital world, participants were equipped with skills on how to leverage various apps for online business. The youth were also cautioned against the negative influence of social media and drug and alcohol abuse.
Mitandao imekuja kusaidia kwa sababu kwa sasa watu wengi sana wanatangaza biashara zao online. Uko na kibanda labda pengine cha kuuza nguo, unaona, unauza nguo pale ama unauza kalta ama unauza mitumba, unaingia tu pale. Watu wengi sana wameingia TikTok, watu wako YouTube wana advertise kazi zao.
The government has come up with a solution by inviting us VML here in Kenya. We've come to give and eradicate poverty by giving our people employment.
Maisha inaenda kuwa tofauti na vile imekuwa. We have smartphones, we have laptops zenye tumenunua na wazazi, tuko shule na zenyewe, but after kumaliza colleges, universities, tunaona kama hazina maana tena juu tumemaliza.
Wale vijana ambao wako kwa hii madawa ya kulevya, wengi wao unapokutana nao wako na simu ya digitali, ni ile tu wamekosa information.
And on that note, we take our first break here on Lunchtime News. When we come back, more news, including a conversation on matters land investment. Do stay with us.
Kenya is feeling the heat as water reserves shrink and taps run dry. The government has promised solutions: boreholes, dams, and improved infrastructure. But are these policies turning the tide on water scarcity and sanitation challenges? Join us this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 as we wade into this conversation with the Principal Secretary for Water and Sanitation, Julius Korir. The Shift.
Differently.
Unaona vile mtoto analia alafu watu wanakuambia nyamaza. Sisi wakati yeye alilia, the first cry, tulitoa machozi.
Neurological conditions si uchawi. Hawajarogwa. Neurological conditions or disability haiambukizani, maana si ugonjwa.
If I tell them up like mama ako sawa, ako tuna challenges zake but ako sawa. Yeye ako sawa, angekuwa ng'ombe tungemchinja.
Differently.
Tasty breakfast just for you. Enjoy.
How special is this dan of yours?
Niaje mother, nilijua kuna something fishy na hapa.
Nini na mimi sijui.
Nikupin. Hizi mapepa zote, kanairo yote.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nilikuwa chei kazi ukaanza kuichezea.
Can we talk privately? What's wrong?
Somebody's dead.
I know, people die.
Jua hii damu itakuwa kwa mikono yetu.
Wacha waende wamtupe huko kwa bahari.
Morning, madam.
Biblia inasema an eye for an eye. Hakuna mtu atajua amekufa.
Who is dead?
Welcome back. You are watching the Lunchtime News. Now, a group of Boda riders in East Kamagak Ward in Homa Bay County have pooled resources to advance their hustle and be financially independent. Through the East Kamagak Combined Boda Sacco Limited, the 321-member cooperative is investing in various economic ventures to boost their income. They have invested in a 3-acre sunflower farm where harvested seeds are processed into sunflower oil for sale. The group, through the cooperative, is also operating a motorcycle spare parts business, providing both revenue and support for bike repairs. Currently, their membership has grown drastically, with member contributions standing at 157,000 Kenya shillings that has been supplemented by the county's grant of 1 million shillings.
For you to get 300 is not something very bad. You just wake up and you can walk easily and get that 300. But 450 plus budget in the house is too much. The deposit is also 59 and this one is 30. Also, we give them a time because we know that sometimes somebody is sick and whatever. I'm the chairman. If they have a valid reason, then I will just see what to do.
I will urge members that we just keep calm and we ensure that all the activities of East Kamagak, we achieve the goals that we have in place.
And environmental stakeholders in Kilifi County, in partnership with a Christian Conservation Society, have launched an initiative to spread ocean climate literacy to schools and churches in the coastal region in an effort to conserve the marine ecosystem in the county.
Ocean Stewardship Program in Malindi, Kilifi County, stakeholders in the sector highlighted the need to sensitize grassroots communities on utilizing ocean resources for personal gain without causing pollution.
Formerly, we used to have a lot of products coming from the ocean, particularly the fish. But now you see people are complaining that fish are not many, and many people who have been relying on the business are now complaining.
They further noted that the knowledge impacted will help reduce pollution along Kenya's coastline and by extension other water bodies and river catchment areas where pollution often originates.
I will start with myself and also make sure that in my neighborhood we are not just throwing plastics carelessly. I will train one-on-one. That is what I'm purposing to do so that I see change. I want to be the change that I'm expecting to see in my neighborhood, in my place of work, and the women that I lead in Kilifi County.
That are supposed to enhance.
Separately, stakeholders from various government agencies and non-governmental organizations convened in Kilifi County to explore nature-based solutions with a strong focus on blue carbon conservation. Kenya Marine and Fisheries Research Institute Chief Executive Officer Dr. James Mwaluma revealed that planting mangroves and seagrass is a natural method of enhancing blue carbon which can play a vital role in protecting the environment during crisis.
Wanasayansi wa Kemfree wamefanya hiyo sayansi kama piloting wakitumia kuna kikundi kinaitwa Mkioko Pamoja ambao kilifanya piloting program kule South Coast Gazi, na wakatumia hiyo example kwamba wananchi wanaweza kupata ama faida kutokana na hewa kaa.
Hii tukiangalia ndio kama ni rasilimali yetu, ndio gold yetu ambayo iko katika hewa kaa, ambayo ni muhimu kwamba tuweke hiyo hoja na policies kwamba tunaweza kuzi protect.
With the increasing threats posed by climate change, the National Dialogue on Blue Carbon aims to strengthen conservation efforts, promote sustainable policies, and ensure coastal communities benefit from blue carbon initiatives. For Lunchtime News, I'm Christine Matunda.
And now in the world of business, the government has rolled out the 2025 edition of the Cyber Game Challenge that targets to identify and nurture a new generation of cybersecurity experts who can protect the nation's digital space. Here is Frederick Mwoki with the details.
The Kenya Cyber Security Report of 2024 says Kenya faces a shortage of cyber security professionals with fewer than 500 trained experts in a population of over 50 million people. ICT and the Digital Economy Principal Secretary Engineer John Tanui says by involving students, young professionals and enthusiasts, the government hopes to identify and support a new generation of cyber security experts.
As a government, we want to unlock more opportunities for our young people. When you check online, there are close to 3.5 million opportunities in software development. And this is the area we want to prepare our Kenyan youth so that they can access opportunities in the cyberspace, especially cybersecurity.
He was speaking during the launch of this year's edition of the Cyber Game Challenge, which will test the skills of participants in identifying and mitigating various types of cyber attacks.
So I want to encourage our stakeholders to support this initiative and our young people to participate through the guidance that has been given. There is the website that has been mentioned. You can log in, participate, follow these guidelines, note the duration that we have.
The reason why we accepted the instance and the reason why we accepted this inaugural game in Kenya, one, is to help develop cybersecurity skills for our youth. It's mainly targeted to our youth right from the tertiary universities at the moment.
Through a series of levels and tasks, the games will help participants understand critical aspects of online security, including data protection, ethical hacking, malware detection, and network security. Frederick Mwoki for Lunchtime News.
From cybersecurity to agriculture now, Kenya is betting on new varieties of potatoes to boost production. Already, the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization says they have launched a new variety of potato that will see farmers reap big in their 3 months harvest. The KALRO director, Robert Musyoki, says the new variety, IG70, is ready to be introduced into the Kenyan market for planting.
Potato is the second most important food in Kenya after maize. The tuber is a popular delicacy, especially among fast food operators. More than 90% of potato in Kenya are grown by smallholder farmers who are responsible for producing about 2 million metric tons of the crop every year. The National Potato Strategy seeks to improve production from 10 tons per acre to 40 tons per acre. Moses Nyongeza, researcher at KALRO, says the company has come up with a new technology of deep cut rooted to boost production.
Tunahakikishia wakulima pamoja na inji kwa jumla ya kwamba sasa si kama vile juzi ambavyo walikuwa wanasema ya kwamba Kenya hakuna viazi ya kutengeneza kwa standard ya chips zao vile wanasema. Sasa tuko na hiyo variety. Iko hapa imetengenezwa na muda mfupi umebaki ndio ipite sasa kwa process yote, kisha mbegu zitakuwa zinapatikana kwa mkulima.
Serikali ni vizuri iongeze ile support ya kufanya hiyo research na hiyo tafiti, ili mbegu pia isiwe iko na hiyo bei kali sana, kwa sababu tukipatiwa hiyo support utakuta kudevelop variety tatoa hata mingi kwa zaidi kwa muda mfupi na ambao inastamili ile hali ya anga.
Sana sana nasisitiza tupe wakulima good agronomic knowledge. Mkulima akiwa na knowledge ya ukulima, kila kitu itakuwa sawa.
Farmers have urged the government to lower the price of the new variety, with a bag costing 4,250 per 50 kg. Young farmers and agronomists have called upon the government to come up with quality certified seed to enhance production. Felix Q for Lunchtime News.
And from that story on matters potato farming, we'd like now to discuss matters investment in land. What exactly do you look out for when you want to invest in land so that you can put more money and, you know, do a business in it? And to have this conversation is Anthony Maina, who is a council member at Institution of Surveyors of Kenya. He's also a registered and licensed real estate agent. Karibu sana.
Asante.
Thank you. Land is a very emotive issue in Kenya. But when we talk about investing in land, what exactly should one, have in mind before they decide to put their money there?
Okay, thank you, Betty, for having me. First, what I'll say is that land, people say, is an emotive issue. But what I say is that people attach emotions to land.
Okay.
Yes, that's the issue.
All right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So land. I read in the Bible, Genesis, that God created land on the third day. Later on the sixth day, when he created man, he told man to have dominion of land. And maybe that's where the affinity of land started from. So people like or love to have an interest in land. So that's what creates demand in land. Yes.
Right. So when someone has some money they've put away and they are now ready to invest, what exactly should they consider? Talk about things such as location and what you want to invest in the land. Yeah.
Okay, land is a good investment vehicle because of its appreciation in value. So what I request is that if you have some money, the next thing is to shop for land, depending on location and also the purpose for which you want to buy the land. Because if you are buying land for agriculture, you have to go to the agricultural areas where there's enough rainfall. If you are buying land to build your house, you must build in an area that's close to where you work or close to amenities like road, water, electricity. If you're also buying land for investment purposes, like you want to build some rental houses, you also have to look at those locations in terms of infrastructure. Yes, so that you can be able to get people to come and occupy your houses are able to get good returns when you invest in rental properties.
Right.
Yes.
We know that a number of Kenyans have been affected negatively by that decision to buy land, and there are unscrupulous dealers that are, conning Kenyans out of their hard-earned cash. Could you please speak to the way to acquire land legally, the right way to ensure that you're not conned?
First, I'll say that the reason people are conned is because they don't have information. When there's scarcity of information, you tend to be conned. Because first, you buy land that has an issue, has a dispute, or you buy land at a very high price, whereas the value is a bit low. So the first thing you're supposed to do in land purchase is to do due diligence. Due diligence is a term that's key. And the other term that we introduce is what we call caveat emptor. Caveat emptor is buyer beware. So as a buyer, you have the responsibility to be able to carry out enough search on that land to identify that the land doesn't have an issue. So the first thing you do, you have a copy of title of that land from the seller and apply for a search. Within Nairobi, you can do online through Sacco. I think also Moranga, a bit of it. But the others, you have to go to the land registry and apply. Then arm yourself with a survey map. Survey map from Survey of Kenya, so that you can be able to also go to site. Because the other thing that people fail to do is to go to site. You have to go to site with a survey map and be able to confirm that whatever survey map says is what the ground shows. Especially, you have to look at maybe how the road appears on the ground, how the neighboring plots appear, and also the size. And also advise people, when you go to site, and maybe you don't have a tape measure or anything to measure land, you can also use your steps.
Okay.
Like they say 1 step is 1 meter. So you're able to measure.
Is that standard for both tall and short people?
No, you just have a normal step. Normal step, yes.
Okay.
So that's key, so that at least you'll be able to know the documentation is good, and also the other thing is land is okay. Then the other thing that you do when you are on site, you do some interviews, especially on the people around that area. You have to confirm with them whether that land has an issue, any dispute. You have to confirm the owner. And also the other thing that you need to confirm is the previous owners, if it's possible. That's the information you can be able to get site. Because initially people thought that as soon as you do a search on land and you confirm the ownership is okay, you continue the process. But recently there was a Supreme Court case between Dina Management and the county government of Mombasa, whereby the court ruled that the purchaser is supposed to go beyond the issue of search and be able to identify the process of that ownership, so that you can be able to know whether the land was illegally allocated, maybe in the initial stages. Yes.
Right. So there are people who have purchased land and, when the rains come, they had purchased a swamp. Is there any way to make sure that you're not purchasing land that, has such issues?
Yes, and that occurs when you're doing a site visit.
Okay.
Because when you go to site visit, I remember there's a friend of mine who was buying land the side of Gong. And I told him, when you are going to site visit, especially when you are taken as a group, ensure that you move away from that group, get someone and be able to ask, how is that area when it rains? Is it accessible? Is it a swamp? Is it a river course? So that's what he did. He found someone who was herding his cattle, and he was able to ask and confirm. And he was told, that area that you have been taken, several people usually come and visit there, and they go back, then they buy. So the best thing is to, when you go to site visit, when you are taken as a group or you go individually, ensure that you have as much information as possible when you are on site.
Right. As we come to a close of the conversation, 30 seconds, your closing remarks to Kenyans who want to, are thinking of buying land.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll say this. Land is a good investment vehicle, and everyone would like to own a piece of land. But ensure that you carry out due diligence so that you don't have an issue. I'll say something I saw yesterday in your news, Channel 1 News, about a deadly dispute in Kakamega, which led to someone who died. The other one I will say, I don't know whether I'm supposed to.
We don't have time. We are really out of
because
time.
Of court case.
Yeah.
Sorry, because of time. The other issue I'll say is we need to be careful when buying land. That's the key point that I'll say.
Right.
Be careful so that you are not be able to be conned your hard-earned cash.
Right. Thank you very much. Anthony Maina, thank you for your remarks. That is the council member at the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya. He's also a registered and licensed real estate agent. He has said that you make sure you do your due diligence, do your land search at the Ardhi Sasa as well as land registry offices across the country to ensure that you are not conned when purchasing land. We now move on to other news. Kenya is blending cruise experiences with safari and culture as part of efforts to position the country as a premier cruise tourism destination. Kenya Ports Authority General Manager in charge of Finance, Geoffrey Kavate, says every cruise ship calling on the port of Mombasa contributes to the economy through port services, guided tours and passenger spending on local attractions, souvenirs and hospitality. Kavate made the remarks in Mombasa while welcoming 600 tourists on board a luxury cruise ship MV Crystal Symphony. Thank you.
Having received 5 ships within these 3 months, meaning that by the time we reach December this year, we'll have reached 10,000. So it's something that we are working together with other multi-agencies and to make sure that we build this cruise strategy. This is what we're doing is a strategic in terms of tourism.
This occasion also highlights the strengthening partnership with our stakeholders, notably Kenya Tourism Board, ships agents, cruise liners, the private sector and other industry players. This is one of our largest sources of foreign earnings. Therefore, the arrival of Crystal Symphony brings us a promise of a meaningful impact to our industry.
Thank you.
Yeah. And in the sporting world now, it is a sigh of relief to K Ravan men and ladies teams from Ndumberi village after a well-wisher stepped in to support the teams with football kits as they prepare for the matches ahead. K Ravan ladies team plays in the regional league while the men's team is in the county league in Kiambu.
Pale kidogo kidogo zenye tukijaribu kutengeneza, we can uplift the football history ya Kangoya Ravens.
K-Raven football team was founded in 2019 when Grace Karugu and Joseph Kiragu united young ladies and boys who were not engaged in employment at the time as a way of preventing them from following into the footsteps of their predecessors who fell victim of drug abuse and early pregnancies.
Most of them do not have shoes and most of them do come from humble backgrounds, so even getting meals is a problem. Also having the playing equipments, it's also a challenge to us.
As a company, we decided to support these teams to be now a blessings to the other teams, and of course they will motivate other teams that will see football as a career.
6 years down the line, the two teams have faced enormous challenges that dent their performances on the pitch, but hope of a better tomorrow sees them through the 90 minutes of a football match.
We came here, we were doing corporate social responsibility for my company. This was part of it. Having been a footballer for so many years, and I knew how difficult a football player undergoes many difficulties, and that is why we are here today to support them, and I've promised that I will support them even for whatever they need in the future. They've given us their grievances, and we hope that in the next CSR we will allocate some budget to support these two teams.
Is to have sponsors around the community, even outside the community, to support this team and to be able to grow and to help curb alcohol and drug abuse and early pregnancies in the girls.
Sponsor Thomas Kimari from Babs Security Farm decided to step in and donate footballs and playing kits for the two teams to push them through the remainder of the season.
Football cannot be learned without an academy. Like there's one academy which has been started by a former player, Bernard Kemani, in Liabai area, and it has about 100 players. We are going to support the same academy, and of course we are also going to talk to our county government here in Kiambu. The governor is very, very articulate on this, more so in sports. We are going to approach him so that we can partner as business people and the county so that we support the upcoming talents within Kiambu County.
They are strong and well disciplined. We have a very well disciplined team, and they are very organized. And since we are being able to sort their challenges, we will be able to move very far.
Kimari promised to continue supporting the teams as he called on other well-wishers to also step in and steer the young boys and girls in the right direction. He further urged the Ministry of Sports to establish football academies at the grassroots in a bid to tap the available sporting talents.
And the NCBA Junior Golf Foundation US Kids Spring Tour fifth leg at the Sigona Golf Club proved to be a tough affair for junior golfers, with most missing their set targets for the tournament because of the tricky hilly course and the wet conditions that were not a favorable combination. Despite the challenges, Kagame Hands playing in the boys 13 to 14 years category and Sikian Yu playing in the girls 11 to 12 years old both played an impressive one over par 73 to win their respective categories. In the season classification, Amar Shah, who finished joint fourth with Kahir Ladakh with a score of 81, leads the way with a total of 111 points. Peter Gadogo, who finished second in Sigona, is second overall with 83 points, while Kagame Handa is now third with 74.5 points.
I was too cold to be able to putt well, so I missed a birdie putt and I also missed a par putt. I couldn't play properly because everything was inconsistent. Sigona is my home course also, and I really enjoy playing it. It's the course that I enjoy playing the most.
My balls were not going so straight. I was landing in the rough, and maybe I was making a lot of bogeys. I wasn't making as much pars, birdies or eagles, so I would say I didn't play very well.
And that is the lunchtime news this afternoon. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Betty Kiptum, and Byron Abuli is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. Do have yourself a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
Tasty breakfast just for you. Enjoy.
How special is this Dan of yours?
Niaje madhe, nilijua kuna something fishy na hapa.
Nini na mimi sijui?
Nikupin. Hizi mapepa zote, kanairo yote.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nilikuachia hii kazi ukaanza kuichezea.
Can we talk privately? What's wrong? Somebody's dead. I know, people die.
Jua hii, damu itakuwa kwa mikono yetu.
Wacha waende wamtupe huko kwa bahari.
Morning, madam.
Biblia inasema an eye for an eye. Hakuna mtu atajua amekufa.
Who is dead?
Kenya is feeling the heat as water reserves shrink and taps run dry. The government has promised solutions: boreholes, dams, and improved infrastructure. But are these policies turning the tide on water scarcity and sanitation challenges? Join us this Tuesday at 9 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 as we wade into this conversation with the Principal Secretary for Water and Sanitation, Julius Korir. The Shift.